Hey guys! So you know that Harper and I were recently in Merida and Cancun. The next video I post will be the vlog of our time in Cancun. But in today's video, I want to talk to you about two scams that I noticed when I was in Cancun. Now, there is a lot of information online about common scams in Cancun and other similar tourist destinations. A lot of people are going to tell you about how to avoid being overcharged by taxi drivers. They're going to tell you about waiters who try to sneak in an extra appetizer to your bill, hoping you won't notice. And there's a whole bunch of tips for how to keep your passport safe from your hotel housekeeper. Duct tape. I mean, is traveling with duct tape ever a bad idea, really? I know those scams are real and they do happen, but that's not what this video is about. This video is probably going to be controversial, but I am just here to tell you what I witnessed. Okay, so the first scam. Here's what happened. Our last morning in Cancun, I needed cash to take a taxi to the airport. So I went to the ATM at our hotel, but it was out of pesos. So I talked to the concierge and asked what I should do. And the guy arranged for a taxi driver to take me to a nearby ATM on the way to the airport. Now this ATM is completely unrelated to the hotel. It's in a convenience store, but it's very close to the hotel on our way to the airport. This ATM dispensed only US dollars. And I stood there and it took me like 3 minutes just to agree to all the fees I was being charged. The ATM fee, another fee to give me dollars, even though it was a dollars only ATM. Fees upon fees upon fees. And it hit me. I just stood there and pressed yes, 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 over and over, agreeing to all these fees. I probably paid close to 10 US dollars in fees just to get my own money out of the machine. I agreed to it all because I didn't really feel like I had a better option. It struck me as we drove to the airport how worried we are about the taxi drivers and the waiters and the bartenders and the housekeepers. How worried are we that they're gonna get 100 pesos here, 80 pesos there, or maybe an extra 50 for an appetizer. And here I was at this ATM paying 10 US dollars for my own money, and I didn't even blink. We are told over and over and over again that Mexicans are going to try to get our money. But funny enough, we're so focused on avoiding those scams that we don't even stop to question the official scams that we're buying into. I just clicked yes and yes and yes and agreed to all those fees. And I can tell myself I wasn't scammed. I wasn't ripped off. Nobody took advantage of me in Cancun. But was I? Is that really true? Is it less of a ripoff when the bank does it instead of a Mexican person? And yes, you can say that because I agreed to it, it's not a scam. I could have clicked no. And you're not wrong, but I kind of think that's the genius of the scam because we feel like we've got a choice. We have yes or no. And because we're the ones clicking, we feel suddenly that we're the masters of our own destiny, but I am not so convinced. Okay, scam number 2, and this is about the hotel staff and tipping. The entire time I was at this resort, I saw, I think, 2 people tipping. And I was not staying at a resort where tipping is no bueno. I was in line for a drink by the pool at one point, and I think there were 5 or 7 other people in line with me, and I was the only person who left a tip. And I am not saying that to toot my own horn. I'm not the tipping police. And probably other people were tipping and I just didn't notice. But I think we often look at how much we're paying for these hotel rooms and all-you-can-eat crappy buffet food, and we don't feel like paying more. And so we try to save a little bit of money here and there by not tipping very much, or not tipping, or making sure we know going into it what's the minimum amount that is expected here and just tipping that. And it hit me, we're paying hundreds of dollars at these hotels and we can't afford $1 for the guy mixing the piña coladas? Because the hotels are getting our money, the banks are getting our money, the people with money are getting our money, and the workers, the people without a ton of money, they're the ones getting shortchanged. We're saving our money by not giving it to them when we've just given a whole lot of it to a hotel or to a bank. It's like going to a magic show where the magician gets you to focus over here, where the magic isn't happening, so that you don't notice what he's doing over here. I don't think it's an accident that we're told so often to focus on the waiters, the cab drivers, the housekeepers. I don't think it's an accident that we're told that that is where the scam is going to happen. Just like I don't think it's an accident that we're told over and over and over that immigrants are coming to take our jobs, when between the years of 2000 and 2010, something like over 5.5 million US manufacturing jobs were lost, and 85% of those were due to automation and technology. And there's another study that estimates the US could lose like 73 million jobs by 2030 just to automation alone. But if they can get us to focus on the Mexican border, let's fight about that. And maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist, but it seems to me if they can get regular hardworking guy from Ohio and regular hardworking guy from Michoacan to be against one another, to look at one another as enemies, to be suspicious of one another, to be concerned that we're out to get each other, that keeps us awfully distracted. And a distracted person is a lot more likely to just keep on pressing yes. So I hope next time you're in Cancun or one of these tourist destinations that you will think about scams. And I hope you will pay attention to your cab drivers and your housekeepers and your waiters, because someone is getting your hard-earned money, but it might not be who you think it is. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next video, which will have lots of beach scenes. Bye, guys.